always 30. I always have like a little haze. There, now I don't. Maybe this camera is 32. I'm recording from a couple of devices. This is new. And I even tried to work on the lighting, and I took a shower for you guys. So this is really, really fancy today. I hope you appreciate all of this effort. I'm going to wait a couple seconds and let people join this live. I'm going to, you know what, actually I said I was going to do while I was waiting was I was going to set some intentions. So I want to be really clear, guys. Anytime that I take my time to have a conversation with you, I am doing it from a place of love. I'm doing it in hopes that we can discuss something, can actually ferret through some issues, can grow and can evolve and be better. It is always from a place of growth, understanding, and improvement, right? For all people of color. That's always my goal when I have these conversations. But there are subject matters that I'm very passionate about. And this video is going to be about Makhia Bryant. I don't know if her name is Makhia or Makhia. To be honest with you, I haven't heard. I did hear her mom say it, but I don't remember how to pronounce it properly. And about the fact that a lot of people are talking about her being shot by the police in Ohio yesterday. She was 16 years old. And if you haven't heard about it, it's all over the internet. It's all over social media. It's on my page. A picture of her and her mother is on my page, as well as a video that I kind of redacted myself that the police released. It's the body camera footage that they released yesterday of her being shot. And I kind of stopped it at the portion where I thought that you had seen enough because they show the police kind of picking her body up. But so if you haven't heard about it or seen it, it's on my page. And I kind of knew, good morning guys, I kind of knew that it was going to be a sore subject for me. I was in a pissy mood yesterday, and I knew when I saw it that people were going to start blaming this little girl. She's 16. For a few reasons. Number one, she is a large 16-year-old, and it is unfortunate, but it is true that Black Americans often aren't seen as children, no matter how childlike they are. And when they're bigger, they're definitely not seen as children. So that was going to be an issue in and of the first place, that she was larger. Number two, it is reported that she has a knife, and she is stated to be the aggressor. So I knew that all of those things were going to be things that people use to say, wait, I need more information. Not this one. This isn't the one we support. Hold on. So last night when I saw it, I posted and was like, guys, don't do this, okay? Just jump on board. I don't care about anything you hear. Just support this person. Just don't wait for extra facts. Don't say you need additional information. Come on. And I was hoping that me saying that would mean something, and it didn't. So then I posted the video so that people could see, like, wait, she wasn't actually about to do anything to this cop. She was nowhere near him. And still it didn't. So this morning I wanted to address the video in the comments that people are making. First of all, I want to say something that I've said about 1,020,000 times. If you are a Black person, if you're a person of color, if you are an ally, right, to Black people, and you see something that is going to portray Black people in a negative light, there's no reason for you to offer your additional negative commentary. I don't understand what you think that adds. I don't know what value you think it adds. And I really want to have this discussion because I really want to know what you think you're accomplishing when you give the Fox News perspective, or when you give the this Black person should have done this perspective. Do you not think that there's already a white entity that is waiting to do that? Like, do you think that it's a perspective that's not going to be covered by another source? Because I just don't get it. I don't get why we have to do that. And I'm going to tell you why I'm so opposed to us doing it. Not because you can't have an opinion, because I totally believe everyone should and can and should have an opinion. And not because you shouldn't be allowed to express your opinion, because I believe in your First Amendment right to free speech. But when your opinion starts to hamper in a movement, then it's important that someone have a conversation with you about your opinion and why maybe you should check it or be quiet about it. So I just want to tell you that a lot of people say, I supported you, I defended you. I want you to know that a lot of you argued with people in the news. A lot of you shared stories about my situation. And I know that you did that from a place of love and help. But guys, that wasn't helpful. What it did was it created this situation where white people felt the need to attack me and black people felt the need to defend me. And the media would constantly say to me, Leticia, we don't want to cover your story anymore, but you're bigger than love and hip hop. You've transcended Mendici on the church. When we talk about you, no matter what we say, if we say you cut your grass, it is news gold. We get ratings. We make money off of you. So you guys were trying to help, but it was hurting me actually. It was hurting me significantly when you try to be positive towards a black person here on social media specifically, because the people you're arguing with are primarily people who sit at home all day and argue on the computer and don't even live here. It's only hurtful. It's not actually helpful, no matter what your intentions were. So I understand it came from a good place, but that's not helpful. When you say bad things about a person of color, right, it is used as a stamp from the black community that we all feel that way. So when you say, oh, here's a picture of Trayvon Martin and he's got his middle finger up, that's a reason that George Zimmerman ultimately gets acquitted of murdering him, because jurors say, oh, black people didn't like that Trayvon Martin either. Because jurors say there was a picture of him with his middle finger up, and you don't understand the impact that your freeze frames or your stills or your words have. Because when it's negative, it's meaningful. But when it's positive, it's disregarded and debated. And I understand that you would think that's illogical. That doesn't make sense. But it's tried and true, and that's what really happens. So when you have a perspective that is in any way disparaging to a black person, it is magnified times a million. And it is used as a reason that that black person deserved what they got or doesn't deserve justice. And if you haven't picked up on that trend yet, I'm here to tell you that that's what happens. So please shut up. Because if you can't tell me why your opinion is so necessary, I'm telling you why it's so harmful and so hurtful. I'm telling you that there's real debate, that people listen to Candace Owens and say, oh, this makes it okay. I'm telling you that your opinion actually has weight, but only in a negative fashion. I'm telling you that as an activist, when I share videos of black people being murdered, and it is only to bring awareness to them, because collectively, when a lot of black people are outraged, we can make a difference. It is never, ever to shame or to judge I hate to share the videos, but what happens is when we get enough black people to pay attention and we collectively are outraged, we make a difference. When we come in and say, oh, you know, Centoya Brown, she was kind of a sex worker, and stop it. Stop it. We're literally stalling our own movement. If you have a negative opinion about a person of color, there are 9 million other people with that negative opinion. Trust me, it will be shared. If you have a positive opinion about a person of color, and that positive opinion can actually bring about change. So in this case, for example, where we can potentially say, no, this officer, and here's the thing, if you think that the officer's response was inappropriate, I don't care what you think his training was. Maybe they're trained incorrectly and it's time to change that. If you think that him pulling up and shooting her dead within 29 seconds was inappropriate, then you shouldn't be talking about anything else. He's at work. He's the only person at work. We like to have so many discussions about tangential things and they distract. You say, oh, we can't get behind every single case. It dilutes the movement. Are you afraid of the movement being too powerful? What is your concern if we support every single person every time? What are you worried about? What do you think you're going to lose? You have nothing to lose but your chains. So I wanted to say that, and I got a little tangential. You know I do. I get so frustrated sometimes. But I want you to know that what you're doing, because you know what, guys, I love you. I don't think that you're trying to be harmful. I don't think that you know. I don't think that you know the impact of your words and what it does. I'm a trial attorney. I've been a judge. I've talked to these jurors. I've talked to jurors. And they'll literally say things like, well, Candace Owens said that she thinks that. I'm not joking. If you don't agree, just be quiet. Your negative opinion is much more harmful than you know. Even when it's a joke, we joke because we are in pain all of the time. We joke, oh, this big beak. She was a big girl, but she was 16. She was a child. And they already don't see us as children. We can't afford to publicly make jokes like that because they make those jokes in real life about us, and they are the judges and juries and executioners. I don't think you guys get that. But so even aside from that, because that's just me asking you to please, please, please not disparage Black people, because it's way more damaging than you know. And to share this information silently if you have a negative opinion, because there are going to be a lot of people who don't have negative opinions who are going to do the work to make change that should come. And so now I want to talk about that change. Let's talk about the actual law, guys. You guys saw the video. I saw the video. Lots of questions. Let's talk about the law. This is Ohio. I'm not a lawyer in Ohio. I'm a lawyer in New York, but I'm not your lawyer, so you should get your legal advice from them. What I'm going to tell you is, I've heard reports that this little girl is actually the one who called the police because people came to her house to jump her. I don't know if that's true or not. And that's one of the reasons that jumping to conclusions, especially negative ones, is problematic. Because if the girls came to her house to fight her, in some areas, justification would say that she has the right to respond in the way she does. Is she outside when they get there? Does she have the knife when they get there? We don't know. But we do know that under the law, if she was entitled to due process, right? If she was able to get arrested and then get the benefit of the law, we would have said, oh, was she outside? Was she justified? If she was justified because they were the initial aggressors by coming to her house, she may not have even been arrested, even if she did stab the girl. So there goes all of these theories right out the window of how, oh, you know, she was wrong. You don't know if she was wrong. We don't know. We don't know why she had a knife. Also, people keep saying, oh, well, she ignored the police. There's nothing in that video that gave me any impression that that little girl even knew the police were there. She's engaged in a fight. Her adrenaline is pumping. There are multiple people there. And even if she has a weapon or not, she's engaged in a fight. None of you have ever been in a fight before? I know you lying. She's not looking around at who's pulling up on the scene, especially not white men in white cars. She's engaged in a fight with the people that were there that she knows are girls. There are a lot of people around. She's not paying them any attention either. Why do you think that because he got there and said, get down, or whatever he said, she knew that he was there? She actually gets away from him, which sounded like it was in compliance with what he said to do, which is what the rule always is. She gets away from him. Okay. So that's another thing that is interesting to me. Then the question becomes, can he shoot her? Well, the issue is always, are you in fear of your life? Do you fear your imminent death? In this case, does he fear his imminent death? I don't think that the argument's going to be that he does. I think the argument's going to be that he fears that she's going to stab the other little girl and kill her. Is that not foreseeable? I'm not saying that that's not a possibility. There's a knife there. I'm not disputing facts. I'm not arguing facts. There's a knife there. But guess what, guys? Just a little logic. If you stab someone, you're still entitled to due process. And even if you're convicted of stabbing them, you don't get shot on the street. You have a trial. You go to jail. In this country, when people commit crimes, we don't just murder them on scene. That's not what we do here. And this is where I think we get lost. We start to make all of these excuses because we've made this behavior acceptable because these people are Black. But in this country, even when you're accused of heinous things, like when Dylan Roof shot up an entire church full of people and was arrested with like an AK-47 and taken to Burger King, you're entitled to due process. Nobody shot him. He was heavily armed. He was definitely killing people. He got a ride to get some food and a trial. When we convict Black people on social media of things that they're not even charged with, when other people murder them, no one gets charged. You hear that? That's a really big thing. You can say he shot her due to public safety if you want to, but that's not what the law says. The law doesn't say that we kill people to prevent them from killing people. Not generally. Generally, the police go and they respond to crimes. So they arrest people for crimes that have taken place. Also, when you're talking about how the shooting was appropriate, remember that he shot her while she was about to stab that girl, so you say, 4 times. She was right next to that girl. There was so many other people out there. It was broad daylight. He shot her 4 times. You're okay with that? When you commit crimes in this country, you don't get shot. We literally had a video of Derek Chauvin kneeling on George Floyd's neck and he got a trial. And the next day, you're telling me how this little girl should have made better choices if she didn't want to die. And that makes sense to you. No, guys, she gets a trial. We get trials here. Even when there's a video, we get trials. So, okay, look, I'm going on. Also, she's 16. Don't get up here and, oh, she shouldn't have had a knife. She shouldn't have. Listen to what your 16-year-olds listen to. Listen to the music that they listen to. Listen to the lyrics. I was listening to something the other day, took it from me, come get it back in blood. Whoa, no, actually, if you want it back that bad, just let me know and I'll give it to you. Think about your own self, okay? I could think about my own self when everybody was talking about how they were coming to my house. They were going to come to my house. I was like, oh, you come to my house, you're going to get what you're looking for. Your house is your castle. It's your domain. It's your safe space. We teach our kids certain norms and then we want to abandon them and be like, oh, no, why is the kid acting like this? Because it's popular culture to be a criminal? So don't demonize these children for doing what we think is cool. And many of you who are like that little girl had a knife, listen to the same stuff and have your little kids in all your little TikTok videos singing it too. You think that they don't hear that? You think that doesn't go in their brain? You think that doesn't matter to them? You think there's not an image for these kids to uphold a certain bravado or level of I'm not going to be a punk? Are you crazy? It's for adults too. There's a certain level of you're just not going to do any old thing to me. So to act like it's a foreign idea for this little girl to have a knife in a fight, I'm sorry, guys. I know a lot of you in real life. And at any given time, your kids can have a knife in a fight, if not something worse. And you shouldn't be on the internet advocating that it's okay for the police to shoot them or that you applaud the police for stopping an act of aggression or murder when if it was your kid, you'd feel completely differently. Don't only save your compassion for times when you're directly involved. We need your compassion every time. And if you don't have compassion, we need you not to convince other people to take their compassion away because we need all of the compassion we can get. We don't have any to spare. Finally, if you want to blame somebody besides the police that were at work that day, then blame yourselves. Because it was a whole lot of you in the video that was standing there watching, encouraging, not doing nothing, videoing, talking to your friends. I see you all the time. I see you all the time. I roll up on little kids fighting. I've rolled up on little kids fighting that have guns. It's terrifying. I'm not excited about it. Do I shoot them? I got there to stop the little kids from fighting and shooting each other. What the hell am I going to come shoot them for? How did I help? I might as well have just kept going and minding my business. So many of us are so quick to condemn people that are victims. This little girl is dead. There should be no conversation about her. But there's so many grown adults standing around that don't intervene, that don't help her, that don't say anything when the cop gets there, that don't try to step in, that don't. If you want to blame anyone, blame the adults because she's a child. Blame the adults that don't help. Blame the community that is just like letting itself fall to nothing, that just can't even be bothered to care anymore. Those are the only people besides that little baby, besides the police, that I think should be blamed. We shouldn't be blaming the little girl that was shot. I don't even understand where that comes from. And again, I'm going to bring it back home because when I roll up on fights in Rochester, I see lots of grown men ignore. I've literally had men come up to me and apologize. Like, I saw you the other day on Dewey doing your best, like getting, in harm's way. And I minded my business and I'm sorry. That's heavy, guys. Like, come on, we need you. We need you. If somebody could have prevented her murder aside from the police officers, and by all means, he should not have shot that girl 4 times. He should not have shot that girl at all. He should not have had a gun out within 22 seconds of arrival. And if she stabbed the other little girl, then guess what? You charge her with assault. That's what we do here, guys. We charge people with crimes. We don't murder them for allegations. That's just not what the Constitution says. And the fact that you're willing to give that a pass when it's a Black person is concerning to me. So that is my issue. My issue is it's the law. It's not emotion. I'm emotional because the law is very clearly not this. And you guys know that when it's white people that are murdering people. You guys know that white people get arrested with weapons, like real live shoot 'em up guns. You know that. They don't have to be perfect people to get to have trials. Why do we have to be perfect people to get to live and deserve due process? I'm not saying that she's perfect. I'm saying that it doesn't matter. We don't punish anything you thought you saw in that video by death in the United States. Nothing. Nothing except the officer shooting her 4 times. That is the only thing you saw in that video that would be punishable by death in this country. His actions. Anything you think she did, she is entitled to a trial. And if we skip all of that and say, oh, well, she should have complied, then we're saying that Black people don't deserve due process in America. And I don't think that's what you want to say. Or is it?